Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys had a nice, restful winter break. Hope you guys are doing well. Um, just wanted to go over a few things real quick before we get started with our first set of notes for this semester. When you guys log into Schoology and you go under the course, you will see a green folder titled Week 1, January 11th through January 15th. And in there, you're going to see this handout. This is just an example, all right? This is not handout 16. This is just an example, an image of an example. You guys are working on notes number 18, okay? So these set of notes are going to be slightly different just because we have a lot of information we need to go over. And this is going to be used for the entire semester, not this unit, the entire semester. So it just this presentation has a lot of information. Okay, now the main thing is when you guys log into Schoology, you guys go to that green folder, week 1, you see that handout. In that handout, you guys are going to see different files. For example, the first one you're going to see is handout 16, right? As an example. Then you're going to see notes, okay? If it says notes and it has at the end complete, it's basically the notes that I'm doing during this video, but they're uploaded as a PDF, so it has no audio, all right? And the third link, okay, the third link just has note 16. That is a YouTube link to this video where you guys were able to access the video that you're watching right now, okay? Now, every once in a while, you will see another one, a fourth one, that will say notes 16, blah, 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 the title. And then it'll say in parentheses, it says notes handout, right? That's basically me providing you guys with the handout in case you guys are fortunate enough, lucky enough to have a printer at home. You can print it and you don't have to copy every single thing. These set of notes, notes 18, would be the example, and I'll show you in a minute, okay? So again, this is just information. Some of you guys are already familiar with this, just going over it, all right? So now we're gonna go to our notebook setup. So our notebook setup looks like this. We're on notes 18, right? So if you guys notice, this is a handout. Now, if you guys do not have access to a printer, then you're gonna try and copy as much as you can, all right? As much as you can. If you guys have a printer at home, I am actually putting the PDF file linked to the handout, all right? So you guys can access that and you print it and you just follow along, okay? So I've broken them down. So each box per se, right? This box right here, oops. This box right here is one slide, another slide here, another one here, so on and so forth, okay? So we have a few slides we're gonna go over. This is going to be one of the lengthier set of notes. That's why I'm saying if you guys have a printer, it'll make your life a lot easier. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first one, we have main ideas, angles, okay? And so it says an angle is formed by two with a common endpoint. And the answer is 2 rays, okay? 2 rays. And if you guys are wondering what are rays, that's these arrows right here. Notice that on one side they continue on forever, and on the other side they have an endpoint. Those are known as rays, okay? The next one says this common endpoint is called the blank, all right? And we're talking about right here where they meet. That is known as the vertex, okay? So whenever someone references that, that's what they're talking about, right? The rays, in this case, they're called sides because they represent the sides of the angle, okay? And then this one is a very important one, and I will go over it again in another slide. But it says name an angle using 3 letters. Okay, so the 3 letters for this one would be A, B, and C. And notice that it says the middle letter must always represent the vertex. So which one's the middle letter? The middle letter is B. Now, since I'm here, I will go over it again in a different slide, but might as well go over it now. I can name this angle. And again, if you guys notice this little, it kind of looks like the less than symbol. That represents angle. I can call it angle A, B, C. I can also call it angle C, C, B, A. And I can also call it, believe it or not, I can call it angle B. Okay? This one, the last one I just did, is one of the tricky ones. Okay? Because sometimes it's okay to call it angle B, and sometimes it's not okay to call it angle B. And I'll show you guys with a future slide why it is not okay to call it angle B. All right? Now, notice that for the other two, B is in the middle because that's my vertex. That is the middle letter. All right? The next 2 bullets are information. It says use a single letter if there's only one angle located at the vertex. All right? So that's kind of like what I was telling you. I will show you in a future slide. All right? We're referencing to a measure of an angle, use a lowercase m. So if I'm telling you, can you guys tell me what's a measurement of this angle? You would call it measurement of angle ABC is equal to 60. You can also say measurement of angle CBA is equal to 60 degrees, and measurement of angle B is equal to 60 degrees. Okay, that's what the last bullet point says. Again, this is just information. Some of you guys might get to the point at this video where you're just gonna say, you know what, forget it, I'm just gonna forward and copy the answers. Keep in mind, this is something that we're using for the entire semester, not just this unit, not just the next 2 or 3 weeks, the whole semester. All right, let's go on to the next slide. Oops, we have some issues right here. Luckily for you guys, well, luckily for me, not for you guys. For me, I have this on my computer so I can take a quick image. All right, here we go. Let me take a picture. Use photo. Done. All right. And I do apologize. I didn't realize that the image came out a little bit funny or wasn't showing. So we're just gonna name these angles. Okay. We are going to name them based on what we see so far. All right. So if you guys notice the first one, hopefully you guys know the name of these. This is just review from middle school. This one's called an acute angle, and that's because it's less than 90 degrees. That means that this measurement here, right in between the 2 rays, is less than 90. Okay. The next one, it is known as an obtuse. Oops, let me write that a little bit better. Obtuse angle. And that is more than 90 degrees. Okay, that means that this measure here is more than 90. Then we have the next one, which is a right angle, and that is exactly, all right, 90 degrees. Now please make sure that you know that there's only a right angle. A left angle does not exist. Okay. The next one we have This is known as a straight angle. And it's basically just a line, and that is also exactly 180 degrees. All right. So these are some angles. These are very important. We use where the first three are very common that we're going to be using. The fourth one, the one in purple, we don't use it as much, but it does come up every so often where it throws people off. All right. Let's go to the next slide. The next slide, we're just going to practice what we have learned. Okay. Name the vertex of the angle, meaning name the middle of the angle. And if you guys notice, this right here represents the middle of it. So we call that K. Now it says name the sides of the angle. Again, now we need to name them by their name. We have this one, if you guys notice, KL. So we have KL, and because it's a ray, I'm supposed to write a little arrow on the top going to the right. Okay? And then we have the other piece, which is KJ, and I have KJ, and again, the arrow on top going to the right. Okay? Now it says give 3 ways to name the angle. Again, the order is very important. So we have angle JKL. We have angle LKJ. Notice that for both of these, I'm putting the K in the middle. Really important that we keep the K in the middle because that is the middle letter in this angle. And because it's only that angle, we can also name it angle K. Okay. Now the last question says classify the angle. Is it acute, obtuse, right, or straight? And I see that it's more than 90, so I'm going to say it's obtuse. Okay? All right. This is what I recommend for this one. I recommend that you guys pause the video. Pause it right now. And actually, don't pause it right now. Try this one on your own. Try it on your own. And then play the video. So now you can go ahead and pause it. Hopefully you did take the time to pause the video and try it on your own. Okay. It says name the vertex of the angle. And it's S. How do I know it's S? It's because it's the middle letter of that angle, right? The next question is asking us name the sides of the angle. So hopefully you notice it's SR. So SR and ST. ST, right? Give 3 ways to name the angle. So we have angle RS. Oops, let me use a different color. And if you're wondering how is it that I'm naming it RST, I'm following this order. So angle RST. I can also go backwards, which is going to be angle TSR. And because it's the only angle we're referencing, I can call it by the vertex, which in this case it's angle S. All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and classify this triangle. Is it a acute, obtuse, right, or straight? This box, you guys see that little square right there, or that little box? That lets you know it's exactly 90 degrees. That's what it represents. So in this case, this one is a right angle. And that is exactly 90 degrees. Okay? Again, hopefully you guys took the time, you paused it and tried it on your own. The next couple of slides is going to be information again, and then I'll give you an example, and hopefully you guys take the time to try the last one on your own. All right, so let's go to the next slide. We have this one, congruent angles. All right, congruent angles, and here we go. Okay, so this one says if measurement of angle A is equal to measurement of angle B, right? Then the angles are congruent. And this is written as angle A is congruent to angle B. But quick thing that I want you guys to notice. This is an equal sign. Okay? And I'm not saying they're equal, I'm saying they're congruent. Okay? Because we're describing angles. Therefore, to classify it as congruent, all you do is on top of the equal sign, you draw a squiggly line. That lets you know that they're congruent. That means that they are exactly the same measurement. All right? Very important. So that's what congruent means. Equal just means the equal sign, but you need to put that they're congruent. When we're talking about measurement, if you notice over here on the left, that is fine that we write them to equal because we're talking about a measure, a unit value. Okay? Let's go on to this one. Angle bisector. Okay? An angle bisector is a ray that divides an angle into two congruent, all right, angles. So in the diagram to the right, BD, all right, ray BD is an angle bisector. Therefore, angle ABD is congruent to angle DBC. Okay? Now, let me give you guys another example because I know some of you guys are like, Mr. Franco, like I'm still a little bit confused. So let's say I have this angle, right? Just picture this angle. If it's not perfectly written or it's not perfect for you, I do apologize. And we're gonna call that angle ABC, right? And I'm going to say that the measurement of angle ABC is equal to, I don't know, let's say 100 degrees. That means that from here to here, it equals 100 degrees. Okay? That's my angle, ABC, and it equals 100 degrees. I'm going to draw, and I'm telling you it's an angle bisector. Okay? I'm telling you it's an angle bisector. Sorry about that. I accidentally closed turned off my iPad. But again, I am going to draw an angle bisector. And this is the angle bisector right there. Again, if it's not accurate, it's okay. And I'm going to call that ray BD. All right? Because I'm telling you, by the way, I am telling you that that's an angle bisector. I'm basically telling you that I'm cutting it in half. Okay? So if the whole thing measures 100 degrees and I'm cutting it in half, what's this measurement here and what is this measurement here? Okay? Both of them together equal 100, but I'm cutting it in half. So if I'm cutting it in half, I'm telling you that this measure right here equals 50 degrees and this measure here equals 50 degrees. Now, here's what the statement was telling you now. It is telling you that this angle ABD, all right? So angle ABD is equal to this measure, which happens to be CBD, right? So it's equal to angle CBD, all right? That's basically what this statement says. Hopefully it made a little bit more sense now. Let's go on to the next one. Now we're going to talk about perpendicular lines, all right? Perpendicular lines that intersect, and let me make sure I'm in black, intersect at a right angle. Okay, make sure that you guys remember that. It's important because if I tell you that we have perpendicular lines, normally they're not going to tell you that it's exactly 90 degrees. You have to remember that. All right, the symbol for perpendicular is, and we usually use, it looks literally like an upside down capital T. All right, that's what we mean. We mean it's perpendicular. In the diagram to the right, that means we have line L. You guys see that? That's this line right here. And then we have line M. You guys see that right here? And we know they're perpendicular because they make a 90-degree angle. So right between them, we draw that upside down capital T. So that means line L is perpendicular to line M. Right? That means that they form a 90-degree angle. So if I write this, if I tell you that A is perpendicular to B, that's all I'm telling you, then you should know I have a line. I have another line. I'll call this one A and I'll call this one B. And I am letting you know that they make 90-degree angles all around. 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. That's all this statement was telling me. All that information. Okay? Keep that in mind because it's very important. Going on. Example 3. So we're going to put everything that we've gone over into play in this example. If you want to challenge yourself and pause the video and try it, go for it. If you're still a little bit confused, it's okay. You will have the opportunity to try another example next. Okay? So letter A says, write another name for CBF. So C, B, and F. All right? So another name for this one would be angle FBC. And if you guys notice, it's just these letters going backwards. Now, I can't call this one angle B. And this is the example I was referencing earlier. The reason I can't call it angle B is because if you call it B, I don't know if you're talking about this measurement here. Hopefully you're looking at the image. I don't know if you're talking about this here, this here, this here, or this here. There's an endless number of possibilities for this angle. So you can't call it angle B. All right. The next one says, name the sides of angle EB and BD, right? This one. And notice what I'm going to do. I know we have BE, that's the ray, and I have BD, that's my other ray. I didn't look at the image, and I'll tell you why. All I need to do is look at this right here, and I'm going from B to E and B to D. That's what I did. But just to double check, we'll look at our image and we have angle EBD. EBD is right there. And if you guys notice exactly what I said, BD, there it goes, and BE, there it goes. Okay? Classify angle ABC. That means this is a little bit tricky. This one all the way down here, and if you guys notice, that is a straight angle. Okay. Give an example of an obtuse angle. And there's many, by the way. Okay, there's many. I'll try and list as many as I can. We have angle EBC. We also have angle EBD. By the way, if you did reference one and you did it and you wrote it backwards, the name backwards, that is fine. We also have ABF, angle ABF. I believe that's it. Okay. If you find another one, you guys can message me through Schoology. Letter E says name two congruent angles. That means two angles that are equal. And this is one thing that I haven't gone over. So very important. Let me use the light blue. You guys notice this symbols here? Notice how they both have that little, well, I'll call it like an arc. Looks like an arc. That's letting you know that they're congruent, that they measure the same. Okay? You don't know what's the measure value, right? But that lets you know that they measure exactly the same. So we know that angle ABE, and that's this one on top, ABE, is equal, all right, to angle, and that's the bottom one, CBF. CBF. All right. Now the last thing says name a perpendicular bisector. So I'm going to erase everything that I have on here just so that it's a little bit clearer the next thing that I'm going over. So my perpendicular bisector would be that line or that ray or that segment that cuts a line into two equal parts. Notice that this is my line, right? And let me use a different color. I use orange. This line right here is being cut by BD and it makes a 90-degree angle right here. Therefore, my perpendicular bisector would be BD because that's the one that is cutting it. All right. I know it's a lot of information, ladies and gentlemen, but again, all this information is going to be useful because we will be using it and you'll see it in the next set of notes. All right. All right. This is what I'm recommending you guys do now. Okay. I recommend that you guys take a minute or two, pause the video, and try this one on your own. Okay. Try them on your own, answer them on the side or answer them on a post-it, and then play the video and you can continue them on your notebook. Okay. So here we go. The first one says name the vertex of angle 2. The vertex means the middle letter, and that middle letter is T. Okay. Now it says name the sides, of angle 4. This is angle 4 right here. So those sides are going to be TW, and that's the other one's going to be TZ. Okay. What is another name for angle 3? Well, let's just use the letters. This is angle 3 right here. We have angle UTZ or ZTU, angle ZTU. Okay, remember we can go backwards. Write another name for angle 1. Right, angle 1, we can call it angle YTX, YTX or XTY, and we're talking about angles. Now we're going to classify angle YTW. So if you guys look at YTW, that is going to be a right angle. That is exactly 90 degrees because it has that little square or that little box. All right. The next one we have is angle YTU. YTU And if you guys notice, that one's more than 90 degrees. So that would be an obtuse angle. XTU, XTU looks less than 90, so that would be acute, right? WTX, that's this one right here, looks like a straight line, so that's a straight angle. Okay, name two perpendicular lines. All right, two lines that are perpendicular means that they make a 90-degree angle. That would be lines WX. Notice how I'm writing that line. Notice that it has arrows on both sides because it continues on both sides. This is the line, not a ray. And we also have YZ with arrows on both sides. Okay, that's letting me know that it's a line. And in case you guys are wondering, if I reference something like this, AB, and I have a line, just a line on top, I am telling you it's a line segment. It has a start and an ending point. That's what it means. All right. So I'm calling it AB. If I have AB and it has a line going towards the B, that means when I draw it, it has a start, but it continues forever on one end. Okay. Some people call it the end point. So this would be AB, like this. Now, it is also different if it's BA with a line on top, because this means that B is that end point or that starting point, whatever you want to call it, and A is a point or that side continues on forever. Okay? Now, if I have AB with arrows on both sides, I'm just basically telling you that A and B are on that line and that line continues on forever on both sides. Okay? Last but not least, it says name an angle bisector. Okay? An angle bisector, meaning that it cuts two lines in half, or sorry, it cuts an angle in half. Now let me erase this so that you guys can see what I mean. If you guys notice, this line right here, and I'm drawing it in yellow, and this line here, those are those two little marks let you, and we'll call it arcs. Those two little arcs let you know that they are equal, in equal measure. All right, so that means that the perpendicular bisector would be that ray that's right between them, and that would be known as TU, and the arrow goes towards the U. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So a few things. Homework is examples 2 and 4. So if you copy 2 and 4, take a picture and upload them. The reason I'm not giving you a homework handout for this one is because it's a lot of information and you guys had to write a lot. Okay? So please upload the images of the notes with examples 2 and 4 for credit. If you guys have any questions, you guys can message me through Schoology or email me. And that is my email right there. Keep in mind that I will only be replying or emailing you over the weekend. All right. The first week when you guys are back, I won't be home. I will more than likely still be in the hospital. All right. So I won't have internet access. Usually, from experience, my phone, my Wi-Fi is really, really poor. So don't expect me to be replying to any emails or any messages. Be patient and I'll get to them once I'm home or during the weekend. All right. Please make sure that you guys sign in every day to the Zoom class, because it is important. It is important so that the substitute can take attendance and they can give you credit for attendance. All right. Again, hope I get to see you guys soon. Hope everyone's safe and doing well.